teams.
First period underway. Georgia traditionally in the red. IAKOBISHVILI came away with the Continental bronze medal. Last year, he was an Olympian in Brazil, took 10th in 2016. He was a world champion in France in 2017. Followed that up with a third place showing right here in Budapest at the World Championships in 18. So he has wrestled well in this city. So an Olympian, a world champion gold medalist, now in search of that Continental title.
One thing that's missing from that resume.
Approaching the 1 minute mark in this first period. One thing when you look at this year's championships, it has a little bit of a different feel. The Russian Wrestling Federation, who swept all 3 titles last year, both the men's and women's freestyle, along with the Greco-Roman competition. They had 22 medals over the 3 disciplines a year ago. They are not here in attendance. Ukraine, we understand, has sent representatives in all 3 styles.
Women's and Greco-Roman.
Women's and Greco, 2 of the 3 is where they're going to have representation.
Just did receive confirmation that they will be bringing a Greco-Roman team as well, in addition to the women's freestyle team who are already in Hungary.
That is a Ukrainian women's squad that over the past 3 or 4 years, you look at the ground that they have covered and the success that they have enjoyed. Country on the rise in that sport, in that style, women's freestyle. Shot clock going to expire. It's going to be a 1-0 lead for IAKOBISHVILI.
And you talk about the Ukrainian women. Of course, the top 5 performances from a team perspective from last year, as United World Wrestling put together those in December of last year. Ukraine winning the women's wrestling world title at the U23 World Championships last year was one of our highlights of the year. And we can expect to see a lot of those competitors from the U23 World Championships here, led by, of course, Oksana Livac, Ukraine multiple-time world medalist. She'll be wrestling at 50 kilos.
On the clock, IAKOBISHVILI has the leg elevated, looks for the trip, and near the edge, he executes it. Really nice work as the clock was winding down the activity clock. He was able to come in, get the 2, so he avoids giving up the passivity point. Instead, he adds offense, those unanswered points toward the end of a period.
And that's the difference. That's what separates the vets from the newcomers. Those guys that have the ability to score late and put points on the board. And that's exactly what IAKOBISHVILI did there. Got to a single leg, came up to his feet, put the laces in his armpit, tripped, knew exactly where he was, had that mat awareness, and scored the late 2 on the edge.
So for the first time today, Azerbaijan trailing the young 20-year-old Zeradin Bayramov. He was busy just a couple of weeks ago here in the month of March. U23 European Championship gold medal winner. Entering this semifinal unbeaten this season. Really had a good roll late last year. Now he has carried it over. But he enters this second period down 3.
And he has to figure out an answer for that left hand of IAKOBISHVILI. If you notice, IAKOBISHVILI's controlling the ties with that left hand, and he's slowing Bayramov down as I say that. He ducks that left hand and picks up the first 2.
Let's see how interested he is on top. If he can get a turn, does not look like anything is going to open up, so the referee will put them back on their feet, but an important takedown, a little bit of confidence now for the 20-year-old. Bayramov hop skips out of the way of the shot by IAKOBISHVILI.
And just noticing the footwork between the two. You see a staggered stance from IAKOBISHVILI, but from Bayramov, his feet are parallel to each other. You draw a line between his big toes, and there's not much.
Two wrestlers just cracked heads as both shot simultaneously. Bayramov doing enough offensively to get the clock up, so this becomes big now. For the second time, IAKOBISHVILI is on the clock, and for the second time, he responds in on a shot. Whizzer applied, and Bayramov able to get out of a potential scoring position. Azerbaijan trying to tie it up. You know, Eric, he's just done a really good job initiating the contact, getting enough pressure put on the Georgian, and now he has been awarded the point. He has the tiebreaker in his corner, and it becomes IAKOBISHVILI's match now to win on his feet.
But this is not what you want if you're Bayramov. IAKOBISHVILI on the ropes has to pick up a takedown in order to make it to the European finals. You mentioned he's never won a continental championship, has been a world champion, but you have a vet like this on the ropes. What you can't do is shut it down right now. You can't shut it down with 30 seconds left. You have to continue to push the pace as you've done the entire match.
One shot followed after another by Bayramov, who continues to shoot. Now it's IAKOBISHVILI in, driving near the edge, trying to circle his way back in, avoid the step-out point, and Bayramov does. Terrific job by the youngster. Here comes one more shot by IAKOBISHVILI, and out of bounds they go. And they will confirm the point, and it's a 4-3 lead. 7 seconds to go.
Just brilliant work.
Wow, Zerabi IAKOBISHVILI needed 5 minutes, 53 seconds to get that final point. And a second period rally from Bayramov comes up just short.
But be impressed by the youngster. Like I mentioned earlier, there are no moral victories, but to wrestle 4-3 against IAKOBISHVILI, that says something about the 20-year-old.
Yeah, when he circled back in